Imagine a civilization 100,000 years older than ours. They've mapped every star in the galaxy. They've watched species rise on 1,000 different worlds. And one day, they turn their telescopes toward a small blue planet, third rock from a yellow sun. They watch us for a while. They study us. They analyze our biology, our behavior, our weapons, our wars. And then they make their verdict. Humans, they conclude, are the weakest intelligent species we have ever encountered. They were wrong. And what happened next changed everything they thought they knew about the universe. Welcome back to the Cosmos Vault. Tonight, we're doing something a little different. We're going to take real science, the Fermi Paradox, the Drake equation, SETI's actual search signals, declassified military studies on non-human intelligence. And we're going to walk through a thought experiment so grounded in real data, it might keep you up tonight. What would an alien civilization actually think of us? Not the movie version. Not little green men at Roswell. Real, hard science-based extraterrestrial intelligence. What would their honest assessment of Homo sapiens look like? And here's the part no one tells you. Every single metric they'd use to judge us, physical strength, lifespan, sensory range, individual survival ability, we rank near the bottom. We are, objectively, fragile, slow, nearly blind in the dark. We die from paper cuts if they get infected. But there is one thing, one variable that breaks every model, defies every prediction, and has never, in the known universe, been observed at this scale. Stay with me till the end, because the truth is stranger than fiction. Let's start with a brutal reality check. If an alien civilization, say, a Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale, one that harnesses the full energy of its star, sat down to evaluate Earth's species, humans would not impress them. Not even close. A cheetah runs at 70 miles per hour. Our fastest Olympic sprinter? 28. A golden eagle can see 8 times more clearly than we can. Sharks detect electrical fields we can't even perceive. Mantis shrimp see 16 types of color receptors. We have three. Some ants can lift 50 times their body weight. We can barely lift our own groceries without complaining. In 2021, Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, the same man who led the Galileo project, searching for extraterrestrial technology, published research suggesting that any sufficiently advanced civilization would evaluate intelligence not just by brain size, but by adaptive efficiency. How well a creature's body matches its environment. By that measure, humans are evolutionary mismatches. We're built for one narrow climate band. We overheat, we freeze. We need sunscreen to survive our own star. But here's where the report card gets weird. Because buried inside all those biological weaknesses is one data point the aliens wouldn't know how to categorize. A behavior so strange, so statistically improbable, they'd have to create an entirely new column for it. We cooperate with strangers, at massive scale, to accomplish things no individual could survive alone. No other species does this, and the aliens have no framework for what it means. In 1977, a volunteer astronomer named Jerry Amon was scamming data from Ohio State University's Big Ear telescope when he saw something that made him grab a red pen and write a single word in the margin of the printout. Wow. The wow. Signal was a 72-second burst of radio waves that matched every single theoretical signature of an extraterrestrial transmission. It's never been explained. It's never been detected again. And for 1 minute and 12 seconds something, somewhere, was broadcasting on the exact frequency scientists predicted alien life would use. Here's what's chilling. SETI, The search for extraterrestrial intelligence has been scanning the sky since 1960. 60-plus years of listening, and the universe is mostly silent. This is the Fermi Paradox. If intelligent life is statistically almost certain to exist, why haven't we heard from them? One answer, called the dark forest theory, is terrifying. It suggests that advanced civilizations deliberately stay silent because in the universe detection means vulnerability. Every civilization that announces itself eventually disappears. We've been broadcasting our location for 100 years. Every TV show, every radio transmission, every radar ping, they all leak into space at the speed of light. I Love Lucy is currently passing through stars 70 light-years away. Friends is somewhere out near the Hyades cluster. If anyone out there was watching, they've known we exist for a very long time. And according to the dark forest theory, every civilization that watched us would have made the same calculation. Are they dangerous, or are they prey? Based on our biology alone, prey. Absolutely prey. But then, in the last geological blink of an eye, something changed. Here's a number. 3,000 years. That's approximately how long humans have been engaged in continuous, documented, organized warfare. 3,000 years of tactics, strategy, logistics, weapons development, psychological operations, and one ruthless evolutionary pressure. The losers die. In 2023, researchers at University College London published a study in the journal Nature Human Behavior, arguing that human warfare is not a bug in our evolution. It's a feature. It drove the development of our most uniquely human traits: abstract planning, coalition building, tool innovation, and the ability to sacrifice individual well-being for collective survival. War made us, us. Think about what happened between 1903 and 1969. In 1903, Orville Wright flew a wooden plane for 12 seconds over a beach in North Carolina. 12 seconds. 60. 6 years later, driven almost entirely by military competition between two superpowers, Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. We went from horse-drawn carriages to lunar landings in one human lifetime, under the pressure of conflict, because we needed to. And here's the twist that would break any alien threat assessment model. We are the only known species that develops better technology specifically to kill each other. And in doing so, we accidentally develop technology that lets us escape our planet, cure diseases, and communicate across the globe in milliseconds. The Internet, ARPANET, military project. GPS, military. Nuclear power, you know where that started. Microwave ovens came from radar research. Duct tape, yes, duct tape, was invented to keep moisture out of ammunition cases. We weaponize everything, and then we accidentally make life better with it. No alien civilization could have predicted that variable. In June 2023, something happened that most mainstream media barely covered. A former U.S. intelligence officer named David Grush testified under oath before the United States Congress and claimed that the U.S. government has been in possession of non-human spacecraft and non-human biological remains for decades. Now, whether you believe him or not isn't the point. The point is, Congress took it seriously enough to hold the hearing. The Pentagon has now officially rebranded UFOs as UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, and has an entire office dedicated to tracking them. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, established by law, with a budget, with reporting requirements to Congress. What's been declassified is remarkable enough. The 2004 USS Nimitz encounter, documented by Navy pilots, corroborated by radar, investigated by military intelligence, described an object with no visible propulsion, no wings, no exhaust, capable of going from 80,000 feet to sea level in less than a second. That's not a drone. That's not a weather balloon. That's something operating under physics we don't fully understand yet. But here's the revelation that should keep you up at night. In every documented UAP encounter, USS Nimitz, USS Theodore Roosevelt, the 2019 East Coast incidents, the objects retreated when military aircraft approached. They didn't attack. They didn't make contact. They observed. They withdrew. If something genuinely advanced is watching us, watching specifically our military capability, the question isn't whether they're afraid of us. The question is, what did they see that made them decide not to engage? July 16th, 1945, 5:29 a.m., Jornada del Muerto Desert, New Mexico. The Trinity test. The first nuclear detonation in human history. A fireball that reached temperatures 4 times hotter than the surface of the sun. A shockwave felt 100 miles away. A mushroom cloud 40,000 feet tall. J. Robert Oppenheimer, watching it from a bunker, later quoted the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Here's something scientists have actually calculated. The electromagnetic pulse from that explosion, and the hundreds of nuclear tests that followed, would be detectable by sufficiently advanced radio telescopes across interstellar distances. We didn't just announce our existence to the cosmos with radio waves. We announced it with fire, a species that had been evaluated as biologically weak, individually fragile, geographically limited, suddenly detonated the energy of a small star on its. And then we did it again. And again. Over 2,000 nuclear tests between 1945 and 1998. We split atoms, not because we had to, but because we were competing with each other. We built weapons capable of ending all life on Earth, and then pointed them at ourselves in a decades-long standoff called Mutual Assured Destruction. MAD. We literally called it MAD. If any civilization in our galactic neighborhood recalculated their threat assessment of humanity after 1945, the answer wouldn't be weak species. It would be something far more unsettling, unpredictable, rapidly accelerating, and willing to risk everything. In the calculus of interstellar survival, that's the most dangerous thing in the universe. Fact 1. Did you know that the Voyager 1 spacecraft, launched in 1977, is now over 23 billion kilometers from Earth and is still transmitting signals back to us? It takes those signals 22 hours traveling at the speed of light to reach NASA. We built something in the 1970s that's now in interstellar space. With 1970s technology. FACT-2. Did you know that humans are the only species on Earth that runs long distances for fun? Persistence hunting, chasing prey over miles until it collapses from exhaustion, is uniquely human. We are, bizarrely, among the best long-distance runners on the planet. In the heat. We outlast horses in marathons over 50 miles. We are built for the long game, in ways no alien threat model would anticipate. Fact 3. Did you know that in 2024, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope detected dimethyl sulfide, a molecule on Earth produced only by living organisms, in the atmosphere of exoplanet K2, 18b, 120 light-years away? Scientists were careful to say it's not confirmed. But for the first time in history, we have a chemical signature consistent with life on another world. Fact 4. Did you know that the human brain, per unit of energy consumed, is vastly more efficient than any computer ever built. Your brain runs on roughly 20 watts, about the same as a dim light bulb, and performs calculations that would require a supercomputer consuming megawatts of power. Whatever we are extraordinarily energy efficient, thinking machines wrapped in embarrassingly fragile bodies. Here's what I keep coming back to. We are a species that looked up at the night sky with these weak, three-color eyes and decided we wanted to go there. We built machines. We made fire from atoms. We remembered our dead. We told stories about our future. We drew maps of places we'd never been. If something is out there watching us, I don't think they see a weak species anymore. I think they see something they've never seen before. And I think that scares them more than any claw, any fang, any biological weapon evolution ever designed. They see something that refuses to accept its own limitations. If this one got you thinking, hit that like button, subscribe to the Cosmos Vault, and drop a comment. Do you think we're alone? Or do you think they already know we're here?